I love the fact that they did that in today's economy. Props to them for being a crowd favorite in that sense. Other
Yeah,
people seem to have found ways to jack up the price on what is pretty much a non-existent, Halloween experience. We're not
right.
going to name
Disneyland.
names. Yeah,
Yeah, Disney.
Disneyland. Well,
We're not gonna.
Disneyland,
I say it, and they're like, no, we're not gonna name names.
I am waiting
Oops.
for them to charge you an air pass to breathe in the park. I'm waiting for them. They're certainly trying to contemplate. They're riding this fine line behind the content and free marketing you guys provide to where can they charge you for a video pass. I'm sure that's come up because they cannot stop skinning the same cat, and by cat I mean public. If they
Yeah.
can stick their hand in your pocket another way by robbing you of more, the experience has been completely toned down. When I was a kid, that was a full throttle experience in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
The cast members,
Absolutely.
theatrics, people were friendly. The staff was friendly. Now the staff doesn't seem to give a fuck, most of them. It's just so ridiculous. But
It's
yet they
actually
want
open
more and more money.
disdain. I feel like a lot of times, like Universal, they bend over backwards. The customer service is absolutely incredible there, and that's why it's my like the park is my favorite. That's my favorite theme park.
Yes.
But yeah, Disney is like, we got your money. We don't
Yeah.
we don't give a shit what your problem is. It's like,
It's
oh,
one of
all right,
those done deals. We've got your money. Now be on your way. Not we've got
yeah,
your money. Let's give you an experience. Now, of course, I'm partial to Universal because we're based there. We've done so much work there. It was also my first job in the entertainment industry when I was 18. Universal hired me out of the gate. I went out, actually,
right.
oddly enough, to be a tour guide, a tram director, and Bob Bergen went out for it too. Now, Bob Bergen got it. He got the job. And so many other famous people have done that job. But Bergen, by the way, is with us for a Christmas Carol on November 21st at the Saban Theater in Beverly Hills. Shameless plug time. Tickets and information at
That's right.
combatradiochristmascarol.com.
I expect everybody listening to be there, yeah, and
I
watching to be there.
expect yes,
Everybody
I
show
ex-
up
I
and
expect
support.
the 10 or 12 or half dozen of you to either purchase a streaming ticket or be there in person and helps the kids battling NMOSD. But more importantly, Bergen landed the job. I think his first job after landing that job was Gremlins. So his career skyrocketed. Ours, not so much. But I do have a nostalgic POV for Universal too. And I feel like they knew their lane right out of the gate. Like Disneyland was going to handle the rides and the fairy tale theater. Universal was going to give you the movie experience and then throw in some rides. And I remember them sticking pretty true to that principle in the early days. Like, get on here. We're going to take you to Dracula's castle,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, there you go.
Ride the movies
Right,
was the
right.
sell line or whatever. Oh, nice
And
mug,
honestly,
dude. That's cool.
they've kept it affordable, I think, for the most part. Well, I don't know about this Magic VIP pass you got, but for the most part,
Oh
I
no,
think
like man. Oh, they have a season pass also for Horror Nights. It's
do they?
just it's tiered though, kind of, and it gets cheaper as the season, but it's about the same as Knott's. There's some blackout dates with the basic pass, but like you don't need to go every night. So they
Right.
both kind of have that covered. But I think like Horror Nights is the more premium experience. Knott's is a little more like do it yourself. It's a little rougher around the edges, but it's all like original concepts. Whereas
Yeah.
Universal is a lot of like IP based houses. They have some original concepts, but I feel like between the two of them, we have what the Orlando fans always complain about that there's not enough I don't original houses in Hollywood. But it's like, hey man, just drive like a little bit of the way over to Buena Park and go to Knott's, and you have everything. So
We definitely have anything you could possibly want. You may just have to bounce to a couple of
it's
locations. But
true.
one thing I will say about Knott's, you are my authority in this, so maybe you agree or disagree. It seems to be done with a lot more sincerity and fun than these other parks. These other parks, it certainly seems like a job for some, particularly Disney. Those guys seem like they're watching a clock.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's the exception. There's the exception of the person that goes above and beyond. But at Knott's, it's like everyone is in for a good time. It's almost like a college haunted house party, I think. So I still recommend that. That's in my limited haunt experience. But you are the master of all things haunt related. You are the haunt keeper, Evan
That's right.
Uncanny.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I got a new phone, so it's like, what's your name? And it says iPhone Primary under my name on the picture. I don't know.
hey,
Like,
that's okay. That's
yeah,
okay.
it's
I just
fine.
want to
So
make sure
it
we're
should say the
recording
Haunt
this.
Keeper. We'll fix that next time. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, the haunt keeper knows his business. I also got high ratings for Queen Mary, with the exception, and we should say this because they should correct this. the restroom situation at the Queen Mary haunt is a debacle.
Oof.
It's a hazmat issue, and
Oh
that in
no.
itself is that's something they should know about. I'm sure they do know about it, but it's not until the public knows about it do they actually move to correct these things in some cases. The Queen Mary, excellent haunt. Fix your restroom situation. Do it quick because people are really talking about that angle out on the street. In fact, I
Oh
had a
man, I
bunch of
got to check.
college
I
kids.
haven't
What
heard
are you gonna?
anything.
Oh well,
But I mean, I
I
was
got
there last season and I
and
did everything I could to get onto the ship to use the bathrooms. And I was
yeah. So
successful at doing that. But I'm like, oh, come on, man.
this
Porta potties? No.
yes
In the
this
dark? No.
no. This is not Woodstock. In fact, I don't even know if Woodstock had those, but I've got a group of college kids that were planning on going and are not going simply because of the bathroom situation. They would rather just
Mm.
do Knott's twice and have a civilized sort of restroom facility to visit.
It's better. I would
Yeah.
do knots twice over. I've had a terrible time getting invited to Queen Mary. I did go last year. I paid my own way or whatever, and it was
Yeah.
like early in the season. I wasn't super impressed by it, but I think they're kind of like they found their groove kind of as the season went on because I heard it got better. So
That often happens at these things, and that's forgivable. I mean, people need to get into a working rhythm. I mean, I it's hard to think about, excuse me, actors jumping out of the gate, scare actors, and being ready to go. Like they develop it, I think. You would think they would be ready, but I think they develop it over time, the performance aspect, what works, what doesn't
right.
work. And honestly, they should debrief on it between each other. They should kind of say this worked, this didn't work. But I don't know if they do that or not. Maybe I'm actually putting too much into their responsibility.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
it's like it's such an individual experience. I think everybody kind of finds their own way with it. So
they
it's
do,
like,
they do.
yeah, like so many people. Knots has been a tricky one this season because it's the first time, and another creator on media night was like, "Yo, they're not gonna let us." I think they said after tonight, after media night, they're not gonna let anybody shoot footage in the mazes. He said out like in the open also, but that didn't turn out to be true. But like, sure enough, a couple weeks went by, and they have this policy now that you cannot record in the mazes, which is really strange.
So
Um,
I'm on the fence about that. As a showman, I see why they put that policy in place because they want you to
yeah, I
experience.
mean,
And it would be, I think, marketing suicide to not let anyone shoot in the atmosphere. That's crazy.
yeah,
That's crazy town talk. I
it
get
can
the
create
thing
a
with the mazes.
distraction. Like people, like if you're
Mhm.
live streaming stuff like that, and you have a phone, the screen's bright. Like I could see how that would lessen the experience for everybody. But if you're wearing Ray-Ban Meta glasses and there's a little light in the front and you're not bothering anybody or compromising anything, why not?
Uh, we're not going to mention any names on people who might be wearing meta glasses.
Right, right, right.
The thing to do, like I would think the solution is to that is let them shoot the maze for a limited time and then without telling them change the mazes up.
That's
Like
kind of what they did actually.
I would have like plan A blueprint for week 1 to week 3. Plan B goes into place week 4 and it's a different surprise set. And that way the experience whether you've seen it or not is like but also it keeps it fresh. So it's like if word got out that oh man, are you hear they actually changed the mazes mid-season, who's not coming back?
They did actually when they stopped, at least like in the zoo, like one of their new mazes, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
The scare actors were in completely different locations than they were like the first couple weeks, and that was
Yeah.
super cool. I
I
was like,
had
oh, behind
I
me and
had
shit. Oh shit! So
I had a fun experience in one 2 years ago. I didn't go on any mazes last year. The best time I had was actually sitting with my wife, who's fantastic company at these things. Well, in general, but at
right.
these things in particular, her sense of humor really makes for a fun evening. And we were just having dinner in that what country restaurant that's in the western town where you can see all the action from the patio. And excuse me, we were watching these scare actors do their work, and it's an art form. I mean, I really have a respect for it. I'm like, look at these guys making it their mission to terrorize people, and they know when there's blood in the water, of course, so they amp it up. 2 years ago, though, I went through a maze, and I had a funny experience where a guy like was coming around the corner to scare. He kind of transmitted his action, and I could see through these like wooden slats. He was coming around the corner, But for whatever reason, when he saw me, he kind of yewed back in and didn't do the scare. And it was kind of funny. Like my even my friend that was with us was laughing. He's like, "What was that?" I said, "I feel like he was gonna go for the scare, but like for whatever reason, reconsidered and went back into his route." And then, of course, as soon as we passed, he scared the next group. So what he was doing was sizing up, I guess, the better victims. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't qualify for the victims list. I got denied. I actually,
Happens to me too. They
yeah.
see like big guy, whatever, coming around the corner. They're like, nah, forget
I
it.
tell
I'm
my
not gonna
kid all the
start
time,
scaring
I
this
kind of
kid.
get left out of it. Like they don't want to scare me or
Same.
frighten me. They don't really run up. They kind of see me and then they'll like, but they will add atmosphere. And I do think Knott's is fun. I think the thing about Knott's is it's still easy. It's still affordable parking. It's still
Yeah,
easy to
all that.
walk. Yeah, you can still make a night of it without feeling like you spent a mortgage payment, which is what Disney is. Like Disney, I feel like at every step of the way, it's like, oh, you don't want to eat here now? Well, that's a $10 cancellation per person.
You told me about
It's
that. Yeah,
like
I remember
everything
that.
is like, why don't I just give you my credit card and my pass key and just
A
take
kidney
everything?
or whatever. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not the experience. And that's not the experience it was either. I think that's a desperate thing now. I honestly think this Kimmel thing hurt, and I'm not getting political, but this is my real assumption. If we were in the boardroom, I think this Kimmel thing, when all those subscriptions got canceled, hurt them. And they do what they so obviously do, which is they put it on whoever's left to make up
Yeah,
the
pass the
financial
buck. Yeah.
deficit. Like, well, let's do this to pass holders so our stockholders aren't angry. And I always say, fuck these stockholders. They make everything a miserable experience. They ruin everything. It's like I'm so appalled by all this, but I feel like Disney really bows down to its stockholders.